So what of this visual field? What of this sonic fabric? What of this physical experience? And of taste and smell?
You mean anything? What of anything? Yes, good.
What of this mental rhythm?
It's not my problem.
Hmm.
It's nobody's problem. Go ahead.
What of the passing of time?
What about any of it?
How is any of it enlightenment already?
How is it not enlightenment already? Right? How is it not enlightenment already? How is it not? How is anything not enlightenment already? How are you not enlightened already? Next question.
So confusion is not what penetrates into... Seeking is not what penetrates into...
There is no seeking. There is no seeking. There's no seeking and no finding. There's no knowing as well. Therefore, I say that only no enlightenment is enlightenment. Enlightenment is no enlightenment. Could the bell sound any clearer than that? No one waiting. Your next question. What point?
When you say enlightenment is no enlightenment, could you be using the word beyond as a substitution for no?
No is good. Because in that case there's no beyond either. Sorry. Beyond has its use, no has its use, yes has its use. And no beyond also has its use. So there's no grasping. There's no self-assuring anything. There's no confidence, right? There's no victory. Right? There's no winner. There's no getter. See, there's nothing to get. And that's the only thing to get, is there's no getting. Right? That's good practice.
So our sensory experience.
No sense. It serves a purpose conventionally. It's like your flesh, right? Your gas, your stomach, you're going to the bathroom. All of it has some kind of purpose, but it's not what it is. So, Like the universe is in transition. Mm-hmm. Now it's the event, not the universe of appearances, on any level. But they're useful. We have to deal with them. We can't be them. Changes are useful. They're going to happen. They're part of the motor of the universe. The appearance of the universe disappearing. Mm-hmm. The life of death to death of life. It can't be that. It's beyond that, right? Then we use the word beyond. Yeah. Mm-hmm. See, so there's a beyond that's useful, but we don't know if there's a no beyond that's useful beyond that.
Can we know? Is it worth knowing?
Who knows? Who cares?
Yeah.
Who cares at that point? Somebody's caring? Mm-hmm.
You used a quote. Well, this is a quote from the last video, which was somatic impulse, which is, "Who hears as silence is?" Which is maybe a different facet of the same piece of, the same wisdom gem that you just offered. Who knows?
Well, that's a very affirmative statement. Could be a paradoxical statement. But it's very affirmative, see? It's very positive. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It may not even be a question. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It may be the answer. It's so powerful, it creates the effect, the desired effect. For some. It brings you to the somatic impulse of selfless breathing.
You've said in the past, I don't remember exactly where, to be cause, not effect, and later
it's a
be beyond cause and effect.
It's a viewpoint.
Yeah.
Yes, you have to be tolerant of both and neither. In the beginning, the theory is you create. You have to be responsible for what you create. You can't transcend what you haven't mastered and understood. You're owned by it. You can't transcend it. Karma owns the individual till it wakes up to being owned, to being the effect of perhaps in the beginning what would appear to be unknown causes. Like, well, how did that happen? Wow, why did that happen? To me? Or to you? See? So there's mystery. Inviting you in to figure out what it is, so you know better, so you don't create the same thing. You need to change your ways if you see the results are self-defeating, unenlightening, painful, stupid, dumb, garbage, no result, nonsense. You have to clean up your stuff. No one else is going to do it for you. You want good results? You have to change your ways. Stop creating bad results for yourself. Confusion, division, doubt, conflict, delay, unenlightenment, pain, suffering. Woe is me. Coming to terms with being the cause of your own suffering. It's a beginner. Because somewhere along the way you start to perceive the effects. You say, I see that now. So if I say that or I do this, I'm going to create that. Oh, I see now. I got it. So if I say something else, say, yes, you're getting it now. You're getting it now. So you then go as far as saying, I don't want to be the effect of that. So I want a cause, but I don't want that effect. Oh, good. What effect do you want? I want to cause a good effect. Oh, good. Then you are in the mode of creating and being creative or being created. See? By the unconscious causes and effects of other peeps, actions of other peeps, speech of other peeps, ways of other peeps, worlds of other peeps, ideas of other peeps, emotions of other peeps, smells of other peeps, suffering of other peeps. Take it on. You see the cause? Say, oh, can't be around those peeps. Can't even be around my own peepness. And my own peepness is creating peeps. You have to go deeper. Get beyond the causes and the effects of others. You have to throw them both away. So you go beyond cause and effect. The products of other beings. The productions of other beings. You have to say, they're part of this production. Now I need to produce something other than this production because I'm being overwhelmed by this production. It's too much. It's too heavy, too suffocating. It's not to me. It's not what I need. I need fresh air. Help! You have to get out of the house. Step out into the fresh air for yourself. Get away from the suffocation, the stuffiness. See? Get into a bigger space. See? Enter space. Breathing space. See? And rest easy. Satisfy your psychic need to breathe. Peace. Carry on.
This is a paragraph from Blessed Aloneness, page 215. Peace arises as soon as all worlds, all beings, and all conditions are released unto themselves. All things and beings accepted and released as they are, while accepting one's self as an unnecessary mechanism producing more problems than what it can solve, returns the insightful practitioner to its true source in peaceful aloneness.
Did it say anything? Did we hear anything? See, the condition, it speaks from it's already at rest, already done, already gone. And resting in a field of grace, say, okayness, good practice. From there, everything gets done. There's no obstruction there. It's breathing and acting, doing, being, from a joyous, say, liberated place, a practice. Gratitude. Recovering of majestic nobleness, okayness. Back to zero. No bigotry, no prejudice, no anxiety, no suffering, no confusion, no self-division, no self, no other. Period. Done.
Yeah, reading this is like holding candle wax near a flame. It just comes apart, dissolves, runs away.
Gone already. You're already here. Next point.
Compared to the book Gentle Fire, Blessed Aloneness seems to be very technical in nature. And it's sort of remarkable that this process seems to be able to be written about technically, precisely, almost mechanically, where it seems so far from this heavy mechanical karmic process that I think the word technical often implies.
We're talking about practice. It's very practical. See? It's putting in words what it is from a certain viewpoint that practices how it works. In fact, we're going back to this cause and effect process. And that's why it's valuable. You're able to see, read and hear things that have to do with the cause and effect of the level of grace, see, space and light, healing and instantaneous relief or awakenment. For those who are at that juncture where they can let go if they hear it. And they will let go. Gladly, if they could but hear it, to do it. Such books then become Bibles of certain practitioners. Then they can say, this says it exactly as it's happening for me. This is it. Couldn't say it better. Maybe I could if I tried, but no, this will do. This will do just fine. This is what it is.
On the next page we have, while recognized as the transcendent, aloneness is absolutely beyond conception, even when necessarily designated as beyond conception for the sake of awakening beings. Such beings hold precious these sacred fire words, which function as a clear window into the blinding light of the fire wisdom of thoughtlessness and perfect freedom from all ignorance and suffering.
Could be your experience. Could be exactly what one has to pass through at that stage. Witness, perceive, understand, and go beyond. And much, much more. If you but read more.
All good things follow contact with the light of the Master. Only this fire wisdom is the other, who is the living transcendent Master, who brings the fire blessings of complete transformation, free of the loneliness of self, thought, and mind.
At what level is anyone that? See? Everything that's written about the wisdom of the Dhammas, the teachings, see? Teachings of the great practice, see? Communion. It's with everyone. At what level? It is the truth of everyone at what level. See? How to access, how to resonate with, how to live from that level. See? How to be free at that level. See? To be of liberated heart service to all beings. More immediately your friends and neighbors maybe, and your relatives. And your pets. Right? Liberate them. So you have a happy space. You have a happy neighborhood. The enlightened neighborhood means happy space.
From Blessed Aloneness, last paragraph, chapter 15, is, aloneness is the ultimate knowingness, who knows itself as nothing, who knows nothing of itself, but transcendent transcendence. One who knows this, nothing, knows everything. From here, who is there to communicate with whom? Aloneness now is formless silence radiance, fully selflessly individualized and perfectly world transcended, when realized to burning hot perfection in the furnace of ultimate aloneness onlyness. So the process of reading text like this, of being exposed to a form of a teacher, to mastership, to...
Well, it's living word, actually, so it's what's on the teacher's mind, so to speak. So then it's shared with others, so that could be what's on their mind, right? And on their no mind, which is what happens. See, the mind, the pregnant mind of neurosis becomes no mind of neurosis. It becomes a mind of no neuroses, Yeah. It's kind of like a purificational firestorm. Yeah. That clarifies eons and eons of negative, sort of dumb thought. See? Darkness, mental darkness, pain and suffering, self-limitation, delusion, confusion, so on. And the beauty of the whole thing is that here we have speech, see, serving as revealer and enlightener. So by your speech you can enlighten others, or by your speech you can endarken others. Speech is creative force. Speech can be filled with hot fire. Sound of silence. So to properly hear silence is to be silence. To be silence is what silence is. See? Silence is what sound is, what the universe is, what mind is, what it all is.
Burning alone is the actualization of true transcendent realization. Such a practice of the character of already melting into silent being destroys all suffering at the levels of self, thought, and mind. This actual melting into light is the practice of breathing into the fire of transcendent, selfless being, leading to the release of all views, concepts, and attachments. Beyond all views, concepts, and attachments is the bright radiance of catastrophically spontaneous, continuous recreation of all worlds, all beings, and all teachings.
Says who? It's a good question, right? Right. Who say? Who hears that? Who understands that? Is that the beginning or the end of the road? Can you go out and have a game of tennis with that in your head? Of course. You can race cars with that in your head, if you have such a head. I play music with that sort of thing in my mind, or consciousness. We have to live in that. That becomes a stage of practice. A step on the path. another step to get beyond. Once mastered, there's something to get beyond. There's something to transcend.
We are in chapter 18 of Gentle Fire. This realization is founded on and grounded in supreme, space-granting, grace-generating compassion.
Good to know.
And the next paragraph continues. Practice this astonishing, heart-happy radiance melt, and realize the ultimate otherness of otherness. Realize the ultimate otherness of otherlessness.
That's better.
Therefore, abandon all conceptualizations and breathe into being the clear radiance of being itself, who is no more or less than love, the heart's radiance as true heart love, and its reality, the divine total one alone.
Gratitude is the attitude here. The heart speaks for itself. No problems. Fullness. Reality. Infinite reality. Self gone. Thought gone. Mind gone. World gone. True to purpose. Living light to light, heart to heart. Love to love. Good practice. Who's courageous enough to live from there? Who has the heart to live as the heart? Who's free enough to be so true to the heart's love? The potential is everyone. But the fact may be the few. Hail the few.
So you, for me, function as a teacher and a guru, to use traditional language, and
I'm not sure I agree with that, but yes, go ahead, proceed. Without the interruption, proceed.
Okay. Part of what I end up doing is imagining and getting tastes here and there of your your consciousness, which you're sharing, this fullness from which you
have no choice.
Have no choice but to share. It shares, it seems like.
Call it radical native common sense. It's another phrase for it.
Yeah.
And so while it may be called guru, it may be called teacher, master, it's not something. But the labels are useful. They are functional, conventionally so. But what is guru is not a name. It's not quite a person. Here we call it the burn. It brings about radical, instantaneous in-sound, seeing through. To use your word, beyond. Being at peace is part of it, so it's peace. When we are at peace, we are free to be with what the guru is. The dispeller of darkness, the light giver, or spiritual friend. Free of materialism and confusion. Each one of us resonates with that, because we are at heart that. That is all that's left. Continue.
It seems like from the student's perspective, my tasks, my responsibilities include developing a form of listening, an openness, practicing that level of openness to the extent where this wisdom is shared directly.
Yeah, it becomes obvious. See, that's why the teachings of the world, sacred teachings, especially the yogic teachings, the teacher serves a function. Sometimes it's a demonstration, sometimes it's really a resonance. So what you pick up on is the gurus, right, or the teachers, you can call it whatever you want, the guides, love and devotion. You pick up on the being's heart. That's the big magnet. Sometimes you pick up on their intelligence, which is what the light is about. And you make it your own. You pick up on the heart, compassion, you make it your own. You feed off of it. You're nourished by it. You grow, because of it. You grow into it. See? And it's a beautiful thing. It's nothing to do with self-limitation and self-building, anything. It's all about the breathing. The breathing from here. From here. Breathing, by ear. Heart, ear. Breathing. Continue.
And part of this recently has has involved these teachings, the writings, particularly the two books, Blessed Aloneness and The Gentle Fire, which not only are they demonstrations of this wisdom at work, but are very effective, very, very resonant tools, even. It seems like they function very differently than normal books, like anything you could find.
Not to forget the sound current, see, and the music that comes through. From the beginning, the sound and the music coming through, and eventually it comes through the word. See? From action, it became speech. See? From body, speech, and mind. You're the mind of sound, peace. You're the speech of sound, peace. And you know the body of sound, peace. It's like a tree, just a tree to grass. There's no teacher, nothing, it's just light. Sound. Resonance. So non-thinking, intuitive resonance. No persuasion. No, nothing. Just continue.
And although it's taken me both a relatively long time to get to this point of resonance with the books, and where this dialogue is not sort of grounded out in self stuff and just people stuff.
It's living. It's living.
Yeah.
It's living word.
Yeah. It doesn't feel like that time was really even there to a certain degree. How do I describe it? It doesn't matter how long it took to get here, what it took.
What matters is that you're here, and only here. And coming to realize what here is, see? How near here is, how dear here is. How here is.
And I'm beginning to see what here does, not just in my own case, but to people around me, to situations around me, to people who come here that are not really related to me or what I do at all. Yeah, it's... You use the word, it clears the channels. I understand why the word opening is used so frequently in the various dharmas of the world.
Yeah. Another word is conducting. We have to conduct the current of the heart to one another. Oh, you don't have to, but it happens by itself. It's not like something you do exactly. When you're living from it, it conducts itself. When you are liberating yourself, clearing yourself, you are serving all beings. You're giving back to the universe what it ultimately has given you as light. Chapter 20, Gentle Fire, the Peace of Transcendence. Only fullness is free to be. Accepting that there is no inherent existence. What remains is true, free, transcendent existencelessness. Such existencelessness exists as the it is radiant reality. When the condition or realization of no suffering is lived, the truth of fullness as freedom from conceptual suffering is recognized and actualized as the fact. Such fullness transcends views and non-views of inherent self or own existence, when even and especially existence is without itself as any existence whatsoever. Fullness is factual reality without additional proof or specific means to comprehend that it is fact or fiction. Fullness is fullness without opposition to emptiness. In fact, such fullness is emptiness fulfilled. The only self is fullness. The only no self is fullness. The only no view is fullness. And the only fullness is empty fullness itself. Who doesn't understand this simpleness and the sweet peace it gives birth to? In such splendid peacefulness as radiant fullness, do any afflictions or concerns, questions or answers survive, exist, not exist, or even arise? Knowledge of or knowing about these things in this subtle manner is for those who do not know. Those who are profoundly aware of these things have no use for any such knowledge, since no standpoint equals no suffering, equals true heart radiant peace, equals liberation into the transcendent grace of omnipresence and omniscience. Thus ends this ensoundment wisdom of the gentle fire, the peace of transcension. Hugh.